Okie-doke. Hey everyone, how's it going? I've been on vacation. I have been off for the past 5 days, which is why the release notes didn't get published until this morning, because every now and then, I have to be just like, you know what? I'm taking a break for my mental health. Taking 5 days off. I ain't looking at the forums. I ain't checking my email. Ain't doing none of that stuff. However, when you work as a community manager for a video game company, you have to take secret vacations. Because if it gets too widely known that I'm gone for 5 days, then things tend to happen that cause me to have to not be gone for 5 days. So yes, I'm back in the office after a much-needed and restful break. Lots of sleeping, lots of fiddling with Ataris and record players and styluses and cartridges and all sorts of other good stuff. Even did get in some DDO time, of course, because, you know, that ain't work always for me. Hello, and welcome to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream here on twitch.tv/DDOstream, youtube.com/DungeonsandDragons/live, and facebook.com/DDOunlimited. Really appreciate you being here. We're going to be on Kyber a little bit later on in the broadcast, but first I wanted to go over some release notes, talk a little bit about news, talk a little bit about the upcoming anniversary, and a few other things as well. I do want to thank everyone for being here. We have a nice full group on chat on all 3 of the social networks, so that's great. Really appreciate that. I will get to that question, Mops, in just a second. If I don't get to it after going through the release notes, let me know. Ping me on that again, and I'll make sure to answer that question. All right. Yeah, Playcation, I did. I got caught up on the backlog of video games that I was missing. I did get in some DDO time, like I said. I flagged for a litany and ran through 2 of the 4 that I need for litany. That was on Thelanis. Going to be doing some Heroic Abbot just because, I don't know, I'm a glutton for punishment. I did run some Ravenloft things and all that as well. But like I said, I also needed some time away from the computer. So I got caught up on a bunch of like Netflix and things on my TV. I have a problem. I have a problem with record players. I don't know why I need 4 record players, but I have 4 record players. I had 3 up until this weekend, because I'd already sold off 2 others. But then I'm a big thrift store, junk store guy, and I saw one that I had to have. It was a Project Debut Carbon 3, and it was new in box, completely still sealed, unopened. They were asking less than half the price for it new, so yes, I now have 4 turntables. What can I say? I'm a hoarder. It's true, Todd Shy W. I am a hoarder. I also did get some Atari stuff done this weekend, so that was pretty cool as well. So, yeah, okay. So if my volume's down, I'm trying to fix this thing right now. Still have a USB hookup, but it seems like rather than 2 channels, for XLR inputs, it's just left or right. So I've got it set inside the computer to theoretically be mono, so it should be the same as on both sides, but I'll have to work on that just a little bit. Oh, thanks, Acid Flowers. That's great. I really appreciate it. All right, so let me get started off by what we did this morning. We had Update 37 Patch 4. That was a pretty significant bug-fixing patch that we've kind of odds and ends, really, that have been in the works since Ravenloft got released in December. Patch 3, for those who don't know, because there were no release notes on it, was really some exploit fixes, so that's why there are no release notes for Patch 4, or Patch 3. But we do have release notes for Patch 4, and because people just saw them this morning, let me go through some of that stuff, and I will have a little bit more as well. So the first thing is, why do we release a patch this week? It's because it is our anniversary week. Tomorrow late morning Eastern time, we're going to activate the anniversary event, and that will be running through Sunday, March 11th, being turned off on Monday, March 12th. The anniversary dungeon will be here through Sunday, March 11th, getting turned on late tomorrow morning. For marketing reasons, we're formally calling it Friday, but it's really late Thursday morning that it's going to be activated. And when we turn that on, people will be getting a slice of birthday cake in their inventory when they first log in. Double-clicking on the cake will open a UI that allows you to select one of 5 bound-to-character cosmetics. Why bound-to-character other than bound-to-account? Well, we got a lot of feedback last year about our bound-to-account stuff. People saying that they would prefer bound-to-character, but it's always kind of 50-50. Every time if we go bound-to-account, we hear from the bound-to-character camp. If we go bound-to-character, we hear from the bound-to-account camp. Overall, the nice thing about having it be bound-to-a-character is that if you don't want it, you can just trash it. And if you do want different ones on every character, you can have that as well. You know, it just... Also, there's a convenience way of doing it that way. So that's what we're doing this year, is we're going to have a 12th anniversary birthday cake. And we will all actually have a little bit more about that as well. But let's go through more of the crunchy stuff. For classes, Favored Soul, the hit points provided from Stout of Heart and the spell points provided by Purity of Heart are no longer removed on death. Fighter Vanguard's Shield Rush will now properly scale its DC off the highest attribute modifier. Here's a biggie. And yes, we can say Mithri Inferno, through her tireless efforts to lobby for this, helped bring this about. Death fatalities have returned. Monsters will have a 25% chance when killed by a magical attack to do a special death fatality, like freezing solid and then shattering, or dissolving from acid. This was removed years ago as part of a performance overhaul, because the stuff is kind of performance heavy. But due to the fact that, you know, I guess we did an analysis and figured that, okay, well, we can bring it back sometimes and not cause too much of a problem. So that has been a long-standing request, and I'm pleased to see that back. The freezing solid and shattering rules. Now, it had been previously available on maybe 1 or 2 specific items, but now it's just 25% chance when killed. All effects that dispel or ward against rage have been updated to include, basically be more consistent. The animation for shield charge has been improved. Monster champion dots now have an internal cooldown. That's to basically cause a stacking issue with some of the projectile spells that they cast. Action boosts, another activated statistical boost, no longer pause melee attacks. So that'll be nice. It'll actually help improve DPS quite a bit for some folks. Some aura abilities no longer erroneously apply their effects to targets they're not meant to, like objects, creatures, and entrance stains, etc. That in particular tends to break some scripting in that, and has caused some problems with dungeons over time. We've lowered the aggro for monsters who will now only investigate breakable sounds at a medium range. It kind of will help deal with some kind of monster aggro issues that came about with our AI update a while back. Disease immunity will now work properly on the Purity Filigree. When using items with a newer scaled vampirism, constructs will now be healed with repair energy, undead healed with negative energy. During potion drinking, held items will fade off and reappear at the end of the animation. No longer going to stab yourself in the face. The icons for Vistani totems have been altered. We've fixed one of the great crossbows. Fixed some tooltips on the buff bar for some legendary green steel set bonuses. A couple other item things I guess I don't really need to get too much into. Bleeding will now accurately state its full damage being added. And both the heroic and legendary variants of the Silent Avenger set bonus will no longer erroneously grant far more fort bypass than intended. Sorry about that, but we had to. We did update the anniversary event, which you'll see some changes for on Thursday or Friday, depending on when you log in. overall, it's not a huge overhaul this year, although we did make some nice tweaks to it that I think people will appreciate. Alright, so Mr. Ravenloft stuff. Undead will now be properly damaged by healing on Legendary Elite and Reaper difficulties. This was causing an issue where, say, like, Undeath to Death was healing. Just generally, healing was not damaging undead. And negative stuff was healing them. Transport NPCs have been moved inside of the taverns in Barovia. This is really just to consolidate a load screen, so it's one less load screen to get around. Old Baba's Hut will now properly display in the Adventure Compendium. For some reason, my window here is kind of floating in a way that I don't like, but nothing I can do about that. Raid weapons have their correct icons. The Blessing of a Feather Feet is no longer lost upon death. You can now see where you have recently been on the landscape map. We're kind of doing an altered version of the Fog of War. Similar to what it is after you've been to an area. You know, it's kind of like, it's all, the whole map is visible. And then it's extra visible if you've traveled that way. So that should be nice to get rares and explorers and that in Barovia. Fixed issue with the Ravenloft exit signs. Oops. Let's see. Fixed a dungeon alert issue in Wrath of Earth, and it's no longer an Anarchrist. An invitation to dinner. Here's a good one, though. Tempest Spine. Legendary Tempest Spine. A dimension door now appears at the start of the raid after Sorjek dies. This is to help people who get knocked off the pillar get up and get their chest. We also removed a leashing on Sorjek. That's been a long one. That's been a problem for folks. So hopefully that won't cause more problems than it solves. But that's the intention, is to stop the issue where Sorjek would get his hit points back, because you'd bring him to the edge of the combat platform and then he'd leash back. In Assault on the Area of the Slave Lords, we made some tweaks to monster placement for dungeon alert reasons. Frida is no longer confused after the Umber Hulks are killed. And made a few other dungeon alert changes as well. The Earth Elemental optional... Oh, actually, that was in Temple of Elemental Evil. That needs to be moved out of the Slave Lords thing. We also did a dungeon alert thing in Part 1 of TOEE. The Earth Elemental optional in Lair of Summoning now says Earth Elementals, not Kill 5. What? We fixed 2 missing rare encounters in the King's Forest. That's been another long time coming one. We did lower the monster density in Friends in Low Places. We're no longer going to have champion squirrels. I think this is a terrible change. But nonetheless, we will no longer have champion squirrels. They will also no longer count our dungeon alert. And also, we fixed a dialogue box issue with Reaver's Reach. Made a minor animation change for Dragonborn potion drinking. Sentient weapons, we fixed an issue where they would sometimes repeat themselves too frequently. Like, it would say the same thing, and then a couple seconds later it would say the same thing. So now we basically have an internal thing checking, hey, did you just say this? If so, don't say it as much. Theoretically, it is still possible to get them to say the same thing twice in a row, but it's more rare. We have added a volume slider for sentient weapon voices. Because we have a volume slider, we no longer need the checkbox, so we remove the checkbox. So now if you want to mute sentient weapon voices, just bring the slider all the way down. But you can turn them up or turn them somewhat down, kind of better match with the audio that you have otherwise going on. And we changed up House Tarasco a little bit. Maybe I can show you that on the stream here too. Alright, so real quick before I move away from the release notes, I wanted to put a look at the new cosmetic armors that you'll be getting with your 12th birthday gift. And this should be on a rotation. Alright, so Macubre, why no cosmetic light armor for the anniversary? Because we only had bandwidth to make a certain number of armors. And we decided, well, We can do robes. Robes basically count as light. We want medium, we want heavy, and we need basically 2 docents for kind of light medium or medium heavy, however you want to call it. And so we just didn't get the opportunity to do a light armor version of this. However, keep in mind that these are cosmetics, so even if you have light armor on, you can wear the heavy. If you have heavy armor on, you can wear the medium or the robes. You know, whatever you want to do is fine. So I would just say if you've got light armor and you want it to be lighter and the robes aren't good enough for you, put on the medium for now. And that's something we might be able to do for maybe next year. Overall, the armors are very similar in appearance. We just have them scaled a little bit for the weight of the armorer docent. Is there only a cosmetic award or other options? For the 12th birthday, we went cosmetics this year. You know, for the 10th anniversary, we kind of did a big blowout of bound to character named loot. And then for the 11th anniversary, we did a blowout of bound to account raid loot. It was less popular, which is okay. But we wanted to get away from doing named loot all the time for anniversaries. So we wanted to do something more cosmetic as a present this time around. That actually fits more with what we've been doing prior to the 10th and 11th anniversary, where we gave away things like genie cakes and things like that. So we do have some new items coming to the anniversary event, though, and that you'll see tomorrow. This is the new 12th anniversary armor that you will be able to get bound to character. Every character will get a slice of birthday cake when we activate the event, I believe, tomorrow. We say the 23rd because formally for marketing we're going the first full day, which is Friday, but it'll be available as of late Thursday. Oh yeah, DDO Wiki Talk is starting in a new time slot next week. That sounds cool. That'll be actually Wednesday mornings here. It makes sense because of the downtime. You know, we do fairly regular weekly restarts on Wednesdays. So having Wiki Talk here makes a lot of sense because it's less in-game. And then Samus is moving to, well, has already moved to after my show here. Let's see. What's with Explorers not being able to lock on? Because it's the same issue in King's Forest and most of the expansion Explorer area. I don't know what you mean by that. Do you mean open up the map and click on the little dot and then not have the arrow in your map? Oh, go find it. It's not that big a deal, I guess. But, yeah, I don't know. My guess is it has to do with the fact that it's a random placement as opposed to a permanent feature on the map. And so the lock-on feature probably doesn't understand that. But I don't exactly know why. Yeah, semi-fog of war for Barovia. Yes, we believe we basically have taken care of Cosmic Dog. We believe we've basically taken care of the hitching problem. That goes back for a couple of weeks now, and now that we've had enough time, it looks like we largely took care of that. There may still be a couple character-specific runaway effects and things that are causing problems, but overall, we think we've taken care of the main thing. Alright. Yes, we fixed the cold spells and acid, too. Can you subscribe to DDO Stream? No. Although we are a bit of a special snowflake partner status with Twitch, due to our corporate nature, we have opted not to have paid subscriptions on DDO Stream. We don't want people, well, this is not meant to be a direct revenue source for one. We don't want to have to deal with ads and W-2s and all that kind of businessy sorts of things. Also, this is a community channel as much as it is an official channel. So my suggestion when people say, hey, I want to subscribe, find a streamer you like that streams on DDO Stream and subscribe to their channel. That would be what I'd recommend. We don't need you to subscribe to us, but you can give us a follow, and then you'll be notified for when we go live with shows. New splash screen. We're working on it. There technically already is a new splash screen. It's just that a bunch of people aren't seeing it. That if you want to do the work, you can clear out your JPEG cache and it'll re-download the new ones. But for some reason, it has a bit of a problem with on certain clients not downloading the new splash screens. Any news in the mailboxes in Barovia? We want to do it. We just have not done the full testing as to what kinds of things it might cause to put a mailbox in an area that has mobs. I don't know why it would make a difference, but it sort of does. Did we talk about the birthday event? A little bit. I'll talk about it a little bit more, though. Am I going to set up DDO stream like I did for Lotro? No. So on Lotro, I got a green screen, and I was able to kind of do some fun stuff that way. I can't do that on this computer for... Well, I could theoretically. I might eventually, but the main thing is this is a Windows 7 computer, whereas that one's a Windows 10 computer. And so my fancy schmancy scene switcher and stuff doesn't work on this computer because it's Windows 10 only. But maybe. We'll see. Overall, I kind of like the look of DDO stream. A rune arm that shoots cake slices. I like it. Okay. No one answered my question on the forum for the no evasion because of metal parts for the arty, considering that would also apply all oversized weapons. I'm sorry, I don't understand your question. Alright. I'm just trying to go through questions here. Yeah, we probably will do something like that. Create some kind of Raven messaging system and put it in the tavern itself. We just have not had time to do that work yet. Okay, head over to YouTube. Will the death effects occur for all elemental types? It'll occur for all of them that existed previously to us removing them. If I recall correctly, Sonic didn't have one, and yeah, because the acid was the disintegrate, the fire was sort of a disintegrate, and the ice was the shatter. And so yeah, no Sonic. But other than that, yeah. Will the ASMR Ascendant Bond ever get fixed? It randomly goes away sometimes when you enter quests or doors. Not all of the time, but annoying to check and see if it is gone even though toggle is still on. That is a specific portal issue in addition to an issue with Ascendant Bond that is on our list of things to fix. What is a good green screen program? Actually, I use XSplit, and XSplit has a fairly decent green screen setting on its own. I just don't have a green screen for this side of the table. And I don't know if I'm going to get it or not. We'll see. Maybe. Yeah, 6 turntables. You've got me beat. See, after I get more than 4, I tend to sell them off. Did I ever send out things for those of us that donated to Movember? Yes. As far as I'm aware, I have sent out everything that is owed to people for Movember. I have sent out messages to all the folks that need to get in-game meetups through the PMs on the forums. And I've done 2 or 3 of the meetups so far. So if you are owed a meetup, check your private messages and get in touch with me. If you think I didn't get you something that you think you should get, please private message me on the forums and I'd be happy to get you that stuff. So, Donna, just please private message me on the forums. And if you don't have the forums, then direct message DDO Unlimited on Twitter, and we'll make sure that you get your stuff. Why does the Sonic Burst spell not auto-target or force you to manually target before you can cast it? I don't know. It's a good question. I don't have the answer for that. Why would having a metal part at the level you get the enhancement cause you to lose evasion, considering you would have had the limbs for long enough you would be able to... Okay, so yeah, we did answer that. I believe Steel Star answered that last week, Fire the Dragon Leader. The answer is because we have chosen to, as we've made a DM rule on it, that artificers will not be getting evasion. So there you go. I have not heard about curative admixtures working with Quicken. I don't believe we're going to be doing that. I remember talking to Steel Star a little bit about it, and I believe there may be some balance reasons we don't have it work with Quicken. In addition, curative admixtures are partially a spell and partially an item, and so getting them to work with Quicken is more of a pain. I don't, sorry about Andrew, 1984, I don't have an answer as to how to force DDO to launch at 60 frames a second. That may not be possible with our current engineering tech. So the anniversary gift for the first character you log on, and for all characters that log on when this is activated will get the slice of birthday cake. A few days ago, I got a little older, so where is my pet rock, and where can I get the sentient jewel of me? The sentient jewel of the timid is available in the Barovia weapons vendor for Vistani tokens. And PM me on the forums or DM me on Twitter, and I'll get you a pet rock. Any chance we'll get new weapons or weapon stances in the short term, like Shadarkai, chain available, net, hand, crossbow, halberd, trident, whip, blowgun with darts. We have no plans to do a new weapon type at this point, although we do have White Plume Mountain coming. There has been some talk about that, but I just don't really see us adding new weapon types short term. It's a lot of animation work, and I'm not sure that we really want to do that. But it's cool. It just, you know, what else could we do with that time, basically? Time to bring it up again. Did the Kobold Sentient Jewel make it into the anniversary event? It did. You'll be able to see that soon. Alright. The cosmetic armors can be worn no matter what type of armor you're wearing underneath, or it has to match, question mark. You can wear any type of cosmetic you want to. It doesn't matter the type of armor. So if you've got light armor, you can have the heavy. If you have the heavy, you can wear the robes. And that's the way it is with all mirrors of glamoring and cosmetics, frankly. It's just, is it an armor? Yes, no. However, docents and armor still are separate. New turret elemental damage coming soon? No. When I talked to Steel Star about that last week, it's something that we've considered, but we're not going to be doing it with the upcoming Artificer Pass. When you bought the Collector's Edition for Ravenloft, you cannot start an ASMR at level 15. When will I be able to buy that? So you should be able to create a Scourge of the Undead. There's the iconic ASMR is there, but the other one is not. So I think that's right? Jeez, I've been on vacation. But you should be able to create the iconic. Although do we have an iconic? Yeah, we do, right? Are we going to add more free quests and content? Yeah. All right. Yeah, the ASMR Scourge. Thank you. I was just braining out. I was like, oh my god, that is an iconic, right? Yeah, so you should be able to create the Scourge of the Undead at level 15, but a regular iconic starts at level 1. And if you got the Collector's Edition, that does not include... Well, I can double check to make sure that's accurate. But I thought the ASMR was in the Ultimate. And so the FAQ will be applicable to that. Yes, that's correct. The Ultimate Fan Bundle is the one that has the Scourge of the Undead. That'll be available in the DDO store based on the info from the FAQ. We have it listed as, I believe, either Update 38 or March, something like that. Look at the FAQ for more information on that. All right, real quick then. I wanted to just transition very quickly to show off how this is going to work come Thursday. So... I have a bunch of 12th birthday cake here. 12-year-old cake. Binds to character on acquire. What'll happen is you'll double-click on it. It'll open up a UI box. And you will be able to choose what kind of armor you want. If you're not Warforged, you can't take the docent. And if you are Warforged, you can't take the armor. We are aware that it's using the icon of the Night Revels armor, the Reaper's plate mail. That's going to be changing, but we didn't get it in time for this. It's all bound to character on acquire. And I'll take, for this example... Actually, you know what? I've got enough to do them all. So, Robe of Celebration. And you will not be able to get 5 of them. But because I am a cheaty admin, I can do everything I want to because I am the power. I am a god. Alright, so here's the medium. Here's the heavy. Can't do the docent yet. And then here's the robe. And, you know, it is bound to character on acquire, so it'll have to go into your shared character bank. And if you don't want it, you can trash it. So there you go. And that'll just be in your inventory when you log in after we activate the distribution, which I believe is going to be in conjunction with starting the anniversary event. And yes, I put myself up and all the way up here. Yep. When does the cake expire? I'll let you know. We talked about that. Now I can't remember what the answer was. Let me see if I can actually look that up real quick. Anniversary event and gift timing. A month sounds good. Okay, so stay tuned. If I'm wrong here, I'll change it. But the last word we have on email is we're going to have it through April 1st. That'll be a Sunday. And then turned off Monday, April 2nd. So as long as you log in, basically the next month, you'll get it, no problem. Okay. So there isn't an expiration date on the cake, but there is on the distribution. So you have to log in during the anniversary time frame to get that particular item. Once you have the cake, then you can use it at any time. we have a rough ETA on the Druid changes? That should be update 38. Sorry, we didn't get the Throne beer mug in yet. That's something we'd still like to do at some point. All right, so let me actually just real quick do one other thing. This relates to bonuses. The Anniversary Dungeon, like I said, kicks off late morning tomorrow and runs through March 11th. We are also in conjunction for the Anniversary Celebration going to be turning on a 20% Reaper XP boost, 20% Heroic XP boost, and a 5% VIP XP boost. That begins late morning tomorrow and runs through Sunday, March 4th. So, full week on that. 2 full weekends. Reaper boost 20%, Heroic XP 20%, and VIP boost 5%. We also do have some other sales-related things that I can't talk about, but that which you might guess will be coming with our sales this upcoming week. Character. What's the rough ETA on Update 38? We have not yet announced an ETA on Update 38. It hasn't even gone to Lamania yet. People are still working on it. As soon as we know more, we'll let you know. But yeah, I don't even want to give a rough ETA. Not too long from now. Okay. Any chance we can get older anniversary items from 2014-15 active? Sorry. Just for real quick, I'm going to show off House Tarasco a little bit. That's why I'm logging into this character. Will we give druids wood stones once their fix hits? No? Sorry, I don't quite understand what you mean by wood stones. So we didn't do, I mean, it's fairly minor about the House Tarasco overhaul, but we did basically make some things to improve the flow. One of the issues that we have long had with House Tarasco is people get kind of turned around in here because of the kind of wall that separates out the area. So, you know, it used to be that you would go down here, and then people would sort of find themselves on the wrong side of the map and then get turned around. So we've basically added a shortcut to get to, say, the Delara's Graveyard area. We made a few minor tweaks to make it easier to find what you're looking for here. So it's not huge, but we did a few tweaks in House Tarasco here. So like I said, we kind of opened up this platform so that you can go right in. You can just go straight. These away. Get over to where you want to go. Alright, let me actually log into my real character. Man, I've been talking. I've almost run out of time to do any questing today, but we'll see. You're returning to the game. Did I say those XP bonuses are lasting 2 weeks, or was it this Sunday? it's basically going this weekend, all of next week, and all of the following weekend. So 2 full weekends is what the bonus on that XP stuff is. And let me actually give you the... Actually, I just lost it. What did I just say? On our bonus calendar, it is through Sunday, March 4th. The anniversary dungeon is through Sunday, March 11th, but the Reaper, Heroic XP, and VIP XP boosts go through Sunday, March 4th. What am I up to? Oh, I could do Death House. Cool. I should be able to get that one done in time. Is the Mimic Hunt coming back anytime soon? No. You know, we want to. We would like to, at some point here, bring it back. But it's not going to happen until we can fix an exploit. Every time we bring that sucker back, people find an exploit with it, and then we have to fix it before we can bring it back again. That happened. Yes, Fred is still around. Z Wonderpuff. Okay. Do I have a hireling? I could probably use one if I don't. I'll get a Garrett. Favored soul? You mean favorite soul? Well, I mean, that was our intention, Hephaestus, is to bring it back often. Unfortunately, the community decided that exploiting was better than having the event return. So, what can I say? It sucks.
Small, distant voices spring from nowhere.
We're so hungry. Find us. They sent us to our room.
Besides, I'm not blaming the whole community. That's actually was not appropriate for me to say. A small selection of people in the community decided that they would like to exploit the thing to such an extent that we are unable to easily bring it back. And I apologize.
Not since Nana went away.
Do I mean because DDO told us to use the bank quest? No, I don't mean that. Besides, DDO never told you to use the bank quest. You may have chosen to use the bank quest back in the day, but it was absolutely not the case that we were like, yes, the way to play this is to use the bank quest. That was never in the release notes that I'm aware of. Now, shit. Let me just recall out. But no, that was not the issue I'm talking about. People found sort of an unlimited exploit that we have to take care of. Astral Shard sales. I would imagine we'd see Astral Shard sales relatively soon. If we haven't... I seem to recall they were actually on sale not that long ago. But let me double check. No, I guess we didn't have it on. Must have been Mithril Shards over on the other game. Yeah, looks... I can't provide any further information, but it does look like it's going to be relatively soon. Yeah, I mean, the bank quest thing is really on us, the back in the day, and we've removed that actually during this last Mimic Hunt. And then people found something that was, frankly, even worse. So... Alright, thanks Zilda for joining me. We are going to be running Death House. I can never remember how to get there. Okay, there we go. Alright, let me just... I agree. We're not here to talk about exploits. But Titan, if you think that longer Lamania previews mean fewer exploits, then you are wrong. The opposite is true. People love Lamania to find exploits and then not tell us about them. But, you know, it's neither here nor there.
Small, distant voices spring from nowhere.
We're so hungry.
We're so hungry. I really like the work that
Find the step.
the DM work in this quest.
You spot something in the middle of the room. Something small and old and forgotten.
We've been here so long. We want to rest. Take us to a nice place to rest. We're tired. We want to rest now. You found the secret door. It leads down to the basement, where the monster is.
Beyond the secret door, a dusty stairwell leads down into darkness.
Man, you were in a cranky mood, King Cosmo, huh? Yes, I'm all about crushing free speech. Yep. Ho 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 ho.
You gently place the bones inside the coffins.
Much better.
The distant voice seems pleased.
We can rest here. Once you get rid of the monster in the basement.
I mean, we do hope to bring back the Mimic Hunt, but we have some work we need to do to correct a pretty significant issue, and we can't bring back the Mimic Hunt until we correct it. Sorry.
On top of the desk, you find a tarnished key.
So, if you noticed, I went for the Galanda rations on Armagh. The reason for that is kind of a dumb one, but it goes back all the way to 2006. Armagh is the former Beefheart the Vegetarian. Armagh is a vegetarian. He does not eat meat to the extent that he possibly can in DDO. And so ever since 2006, I have tried to see how vegetarian Beefheart the Vegetarian could actually be. And so that's why he does not eat crispy bacon, despite it being the best source of getting quick healing. It was just sort of the way I am. The answer is you can actually be pretty vegetarian in this game. We've, you know, it's not always the easiest. You have to make sacrifices. But nonetheless, you can do it. If I've tried to convince the dev team to come up with veggie bacon, but no, they have not yet put in veggie bacon.
The monster's around here someplace. You can smell him.
Well, I suppose it's true, you know. Are you... Well, see, we call it feeding your sentient weapon jewel, but it's more of an empowerment. You're empowering your sentient jewel. Besides, this stuff isn't made of meat. It's made of magic. I disagree. I like veggie bacon. I think veggie bacon's nifty. It's actually pretty good. It's basically made of the same stuff that bacos are made out of. Hey, Skull Priest, nice to see you here.
The sound of chanting echoes from down the hallway.
Black Sabbath is from the 70s. Well, they were big in the 80s, too. But yeah, I hear you. I saw Black Sabbath in the 90s. Frankly, they weren't very good, but I'm sorry. I wanted to like them more than I liked them. They had a great opening of their concert, but by the time I saw Black Sabbath live, Ozzy was, struggling a little bit. Would it be safe to go Wolf Druid now, or will the fix wreck them, or will there be wood hearts to help them change? You should be able to go now. Anything that we change to the Druid will work toward current Druids, and if necessary, we can get you a Heart of Wood. I don't know if we're actually doing a Heart of Wood. I think we might be for Druids. That's a conversation that's going to have to happen later. But a fairly decent chance of that. So if there's anything that you would need to respec for with your Druid, I'd say there's a pretty good chance. Yeah, there's Veggie Bacon Tesla's Ghost. Like I say, it's basically the same stuff. If you don't know it, Baco's is actually vegan. Like the Baco's things that you buy in the store. There's no actual bacon or meat in that. It's all just like same stuff they make veggie bacon out of. For the most part. Awesome, thank you, Zilda. I'm going to get you a points code in the in-game mail a little bit later on today. And I'm going to wrap up the stream here in just a couple minutes. What are my views on eating plant monsters? That's a complicated one, Hephaestus. You know, yeah, I don't think if it's a... I mean, a plant monster, one would have to assume would feel pain, so... I would have to say... Beefheart the vegetarian probably would not eat a plant monster. Yeah. And thankfully in real life I've never had to face that issue. If I could magically add one thing to the game, no matter how silly or impossible, what would it be? Intellect Devourers. That's what I would add. I like the monster Intellect Devourer, and I want it in DDO. All right. What is the actual open release date for Ravenloft's expansion in the DDO store? Let me look that up for you real quick. The official word on... Can I purchase the expansion with store points? From the official Ravenloft FAQ. The Mists of Ravenloft expansion will be purchasable in March 2018 for points in the DDO store. The race ASMR will be $13.95. Mists of Ravenloft expansion content will be $24.95, and the Scourge of the Undead Iconic will be $12.95. And March is the earliest we want to say on it. We have no exact date on when in March, but you will know soon, because, you know. There we go. Alright, thank you very much for watching the Weekly Wednesday Lunchtime live stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Really do appreciate it. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, Samus Garobo is going to be keeping the thing going with Follow the Noob. Awesome title. And we do have a full schedule over on twitch.tv/DDO stream. We are looking for streamers as well, so if you see an open spot in the calendar and you have some streaming experience and might want to check it out, let me know through the forums or social media. And we do have a schedule all week long, which you can find as well on the Twitch page. Until next week, I will see you around. Thanks for being here.